Okay, welcome to a Facebook Live, a video that's going to make history. If you are live with me or you're watching the replay, say hello inside of the comment section. I am activated in a way that I don't think I've ever been activated in my entire life. What is happening inside of Freedom Queen, what's happening inside of my clients' lives is huge. And I want to share this transmission with you. I want to talk about something insane that has happened and invite you to something spectacular. You are going to be the first of the first people to hear about this extraordinary experience. And so we have so much to celebrate. And I would love to know inside of the comments if you feel like Q2 is going to be your biggest quarter ever. Like when I woke up on April 1st, I felt this frequency, this energy, this activation, like there's a new energy here. And I've been so loud about it. I've been so like, there's just something new. Lizzie's here. Hey, Bridget, long time no see. Ready to be activated. Samantha Wise is here, my queen. If you are alive with me, please say hello. I would love to know who's here. I want you to know something really, really important, which is this. In Q2 of 2025, you get to be famous. You get to be the star. You get to be the woman that is written up everywhere in newspaper articles, that is featured in movies, that is, you walk down the street and people are like, I know Lizzie, I know Samantha, and if you're watching with me live, please say hello. If you're here or watching the replay. You get to be the famous woman. You get to be the mama, I made it. You get to have the moments in Q2 where everyone is like, who's Evie? Who's Tiffany? Who's Yvonne? Who's Christina? Like, you get to be that woman. You get to be the it girl. You get to be the famous person. Loretta's here. Everyone's here. I'm so obsessed. Hi, everyone. The more activating you are, the more you utilize the comments, the more activating I get. Like everybody just gets activated at once, right? Winning compounds and creates more winning. And so in Q2 of 2025, I want you to be a full embodiment of famous, of you've made it. Hey, Tiffany. Susie's here. I want you to embody that you are a celebrity, that every single time you walk down the street, people know your name. Like you're the talk of the town in your industry. In other coaching groups, everyone's like, do you know Bushra? Do you know Tiff? Do you know Lizzie? Do you know Tiffany? Do you know Yvonne? You get to be that person. But the thing is that you have to be extra loud about it. I want you to be loud about who you are. Isabella, hi Isabella. You have to be so loud about who you are. If you want to be famous, you have to act as if you're famous. You have to act as if you are already the woman, the star, the icon that everybody wants to know. You want to make it? Show up as if you've made it. Like be the person on this training right now that's super active. Be the person on Facebook that's nonstop posting. Be the person doing the insane photo shoots. Be the person that actually is famous. Full permission to 1000% express yourself. To trigger people. To not always be liked. Famous people are not always liked. Metalee, hi Metalee, where you're like falling in love with one another as well. Tiff and I, Metalee and I. You need to show up like you are already the celebrity. One of the easiest ways to win in the coaching and consulting industry, one of the easiest ways to win in life is by acting like you are already famous and so it is done. When internally you start saying to yourself that you're already famous, you've already made it, you're already a celebrity, people will start to look at you and they'll say, there's just something about her. Put a yes in the comments if you've had that you've had that happen to you a lot. Commonly people say to you, like, there's just something about you, Lizzie. There's just something about you, Evie. Like, you're unique, you're different. Tiffany, I love our love affair. I do too. I get to see you next week in Costa Rica, and I might see you somewhere else. But put a yes in the comments if people have commonly said that to you. When I was in high school, I got the senior superlative, most likely to be famous. And I didn't really in the moment understand why people would say that to me. They're like, if anyone's gonna be famous out of all the 1,000 people, it's you. You're gonna be famous. And one of the reasons why is because I didn't just think like that. I didn't just think with an edge thought. I didn't just decide like, oh, I'm famous. I also made moves that were in alignment with that. I was going to New York City. In high school, I would go to New York City for the weekend. I was going to the Broadway shows. I was going to Times Square. I was auditioning. Like, I was doing things that aligned with what a famous person would do. When I was 13, I had my first ever photo shoot. Like, I assumed that I was the star, the celebrity of my life. And if you're watching this live now or you're watching the replay, you have got to show up like you are the star of your life, and everyone around you will start to show up that way as well. You will have your name in lights. You will be written up. You will be written on Reddit threads. You will have news articles written about you. You will be asked to speak on television. You will be talked about in every single room. Everyone will be saying, who's Christina? Who's Christine? Who's Lexi? Who's Dr. Alicia? Who's Tiffany? Who's Evie? Because you decided that's what you were. And you allowed yourself to receive it. Not only did you show up as that person, you also allowed yourself to receive the fame. A lot of women block the fame because they fear what's going to happen on the other side of that. They fear that they might be hated. And I'll tell you something right now. Celebrities are hated. Celebrities are misunderstood constantly. Have you ever seen a news article about a celebrity that you love? Hey, Katya. And you're like, why are they painting them as the villain? A famous woman, someone who has made it, does not move to be the hero. She doesn't move to be the villain to people. She just moves because she is the one. Someone who's actually famous, someone who actually creates wealth, fame, freedom, which is the essence of Freedom Queen. In Freedom Queen, you become wealthy, you become famous, and you become free. She's not moving because she needs to right people, the people that think she's wrong. Or she's not moving because she needs to prove to herself that she's someone or prove to other people. She's moving simply because she has a greater calling on her life. And you have a greater calling on your life. Let people misunderstand you. Let people put you in the tabloids. Let people write a hate thing about you. Let people love you, let people not love you, but either way, you are deciding that you are going to be famous. This is what I'm pioneering inside of Freedom Queen coming up very soon. And this is the activation portal of this conversation. And so something happened to me that I'm going to share with you all that is really, really, really profound. And honestly, like, I'm still downloading it. And so if I get a little bit like just take in the energy, like put a yes in the chat if you feel the frequency. I have my team here at my house in Costa Rica. This is the first time my team has ever been with me in my house. Like, no one's ever really been to my house before except for like literally 3 people have been to my house. And so there's this energy, this frequency happening right now. Put it in the chat if you feel it. I want you to calibrate to this. Like, I want you to actually be in my energy. I want you to take this energy and put it on. So when I was a little girl, and not that young, when I was in high school and I got the senior superlative that was said most likely to be famous, a couple years went by. And yeah, I'm like, I'm going to take us there and we're going to go to really big levels together. I'm like in the portal right now. A couple years ago, a couple years after high school, and really, so like 10 years ago, when I was maybe 19, my mom said something to me. And by the way, I'm going to say something to you that's going to change your life forever. My mom said something to me. And she said, Bridget James Ling, one day you are going to have your name in lights. My mom said to me, I have a vision. One day, you are going to have your name in lights. And at the time, I didn't understand that. At the time, I actually really blew it off. I was like, I don't need my name in lights. I was like, Mom, no. Like, oh, it's so cringe, so cheesy. How many times has a woman spoke words of power over you and you've let it go? You've disregarded it. You've decided that you don't need to have that. But you don't need to have that level of fame. But you don't need to have your name written up in magazines. That you don't need to be featured in movies. That you don't need to be the talk of the town. How many times have you deflected words of wisdom? My fiance always says to me, when women pray. He's like, when women pray, you have the power to speak words over people that other people don't have the power to do. This is why coaching works. This is why mentorship works. It changes people's lives. The words you speak over people matter. The words you speak over your clients matter. The words you speak over yourself matters. The words when I speak over you, and I'm going to tell you right now, you are famous. You have the opportunity to be famous. You have the opportunity to one day stand on stage and everyone is chanting your name. You have the opportunity to do that, to create a massive ripple effect with your company, with your life. And so when my mom said that to me, she said, Bridget James Ling, one day, she said, I have a vision and one day your name is going to be in lights. I deflected it. And I said, no, I don't know. Like, Mom, I don't want that. Like, I don't need that. And then I moved to New York City right after that. I moved to New York City, and I moved to New York City with $500 in my bank account. $500 in my bank account. I had one suitcase, one like regular suitcase. And inside of the suitcase, I had a couple clothes. I had a ham sandwich that my mom packed for me, granola bars, and an apple, because we didn't know what I was going to eat the next day. I'm taking you there. Like, I am on another one right now. I'm telling you, this live is going to make history and break ceilings. And inside of the suitcase, I had two items. I had one, an air mattress. I had an air mattress just enough for one person. Have you ever seen a really small air mattress? It was green, had like velvet on the top. One air mattress for one person. And my mom put inside of my suitcase, I'm gonna lose it on this live. I'm gonna lose it. My mom put in that suitcase string lights. She put in the suitcase these little Christmas lights. And when I arrived to New York City, I had $500 in my bank account. And I remember I had to sit in the Amtrak station. Have you ever been in Penn Station in New York? And I was so scared. I have never really rode the subway before. And I remember playing Frank Sinatra, dun, 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 dun. And I'm a repeat songer. Like, I will abuse a song. So I'm just like playing the song nonstop in Times Square. My apartment wasn't ready for me to move into in the Upper East Side. I lived on 95th and Park. And I took my suitcase when my roommates told me my room was ready. I took my suitcase to the 6 train. And at the time, I really didn't understand how the subway systems worked. But I was in awe. Like, I was walking through New York City with my suitcase and Frank Sinatra, New York, and the $500 in my bank account and the ham sandwich in my little Ziploc baggie and my my air mattress and the lights. And I go to the 6 train. And if you've ever been in the subway, it's kind of confusing sometimes if you've just gone to New York City. And the subway comes, and it's like going up. And I'm like, okay. And the doors open, ding. And I take a big deep breath in. And I just feel God with me. And I say, go now. And I remember jumping onto the train. I have literally no idea if this train is going in the right direction. I don't know if it's going uptown or downtown, but it's like Uptown Train, or it says something over the loudspeaker, and I'm literally disassociating, I'm blacking out. So I get on the train and my back's against the other wall, and I'm looking around, and all I have is my suitcase with my ham sandwich, $500 in my bank account. I have a heart full of dreams. I have faith that God's gonna take me somewhere that I don't know. And I take the train uptown, and I get to my apartment. I remember the day I walked in, and it was such a small little apartment, like literally it was like shoulder to shoulder in the hallway, and I get into the bedroom. And the bedroom is so small, I can one hand touch one wall, and with my foot, the tips of my toes touch the other wall. And I open up my suitcase, and I put the air mattress, and the air mattress pretty much takes up the entire room. And I take out the Christmas lights, and I plug them in. And I wrap the bed in lights. And I'm just gonna keep going here because I might lose it all, but God bless, because if I lose my control on this live, thank God, because far too many women aren't letting themselves lose control. They're putting themselves in this frickin' box, and you're not gonna be famous by putting yourself in a frickin' box. You are going to be famous the moment you let yourself be authentic. And so I wrap my air mattress in these Christmas lights, and I fall asleep. And I say to myself, I've made it. Mama, I've made it. And that was just not many years ago. And I remember thinking about what my mom said to me. I have a vision that one day your name is going to be in lights. And I completely deflected it, and God was there with me, and God was like, I'm actually gonna wrap I'm gonna wrap you in lights. I'm gonna wrap your air mattress in Christmas lights, and you're gonna fall asleep the first time in New York City with lights surrounding you and wrapping your body. And the next day I woke up at the crack of dawn in New York City, and I put on my outfit. I was going to my new big career in New York City, and I remember walking through the streets of New York City like, I have made it. I have no money. I have no money. I don't even know what I'm doing there at that point, but I know I'm on this mission. I'm on this mission to do something greater. And I do my first job, and I remember getting my first paycheck. It was like $1,500, and majority of that paycheck went to my student loan debt, and it went to my rent. And so I live my life in New York City. I'm living out what my dreams were made of. When I was a little girl, I dreamt of living in New York City. I dreamt of dancing, and I dreamt of teaching dance and managing dance companies and performing and auditioning. And I do all of the things until God called me to do something better, which was create Freedom Queen and help you wake up and find your own inner levels of fame and help you become famous. Help you to literally see who you're meant to be on this planet. And I don't even know why. Again, it was like a download from God, where God was like, you're going to teach women how to go for more and wake up to their real God-given potential, to break outside of a box, to not just be a coach, because I didn't even know what coaching was. I was like, I'm not a coach. I'm starting a movement, a company, a brand, something that's far bigger than what anyone else has ever done before. This is Freedom Queen, and it starts with you allowing yourself to be free. And so something happened recently. I got news of something. And the news was this. Put a yes in the comments if you're ready to hear this. Put a yes in the comments if you're activated. Put a yes in the comments if you feel like you're destined to be famous. Put a yes in the comments if you're like, screw playing small in the coaching industry, in the drama people play out, in the negativity, in the sometimes I think that there's a demonic spirit over the coaching industry. I really have woken up in the last couple of days where I'm like, I am here to bring faith, fame, power, influence. You've made it. Bigness in this world. Like bigger is Carly. Oh my God. Like we are like awakening. I haven't seen so many of you in a while. Like I'm here to pioneer something bigger than anything that like what I've created. Like, okay. So anyways, so something happened recently. Something crazy happened. George is here. Yes. That's a fact, Steph says. I'm seeing it now, Ashley. Yes. Like, before I tell you what happened, I just want you to know that if you're watching this live, if you're watching the replay, whatever, if you and I know each other in some fashion, you are meant to be famous. You are meant to be known. And for your good God-given work, and you're gonna be wronged. I'm unleashing something right now. I'm just gonna go there. While everyone puts their foot on the brake, I'm gonna put my foot on the gas and spiral out of control right now. You are meant to be famous. And not fame in this like weird celebrity matrixy, weird, crazy, demonizing women type of way. I mean in a God-given way. In whatever your religion is, I'm going to say in like a biblical way. Like you're known. Like your movement lasts forever. People know your name. The difference between someone who's famous and someone who's not is that they decided that they're going to be famous. And they decided to say, you know what, I am going to be hated. But I didn't come on this planet to be normal. You didn't come on this planet to be normal. You came on this planet to do something different. And the difference between somebody that's not famous and someone that is famous is that they decided to be famous. And this work has pissed people off for too long, and I'm just like taking everything to another level with you. And so a couple of months ago, I got word of something. And this is where I might go a little insane. So stay here with me in this frequency, in this energy. Keep sharing in the chat. Yeah, Lizzie, you're not normal. Everyone on this live who I've seen comment, you're not normal. And if you're not commenting, you're not normal. Someone reached out to me and said, I just had a flashback to me laying in the bed with the lights around me. And my mom saying, I had a vision your name was going to be in lights, and I deflected her. I just had a flashback to when I got my senior superlative that said most likely to be famous. Somebody reached out to me a couple months ago, and they said, we want to feature you on a giant Times Square billboard. We want to put your name in lights. I'm shaking a little bit. We want to put, actually, I'm shaking, but I feel very grounded because this is God. This is literally God's plan. We want to put your name in lights. We want to put Bridget James Ling and Freedom Queen in lights in Times Square. Now, the people that are watching this, that you know you're meant to be famous, you will feel this, and you will feel this for yourself, because what I'm doing is I'm bringing something closer to you. I'm speaking words of wisdom over you right now. The things that are happening for me can happen for you. And she says, we're going to put you in Times Square on a massive billboard and feature you in New York City. And I'm like, what? Who? How? Because I'm just the girl. This is where I go really deep with this. I'm just a girl whose mom spoke wisdom over her and said, I have a vision for your life. Who other people saw power in and said, you're going to go places. You're going to go really far. Who 1,000 people voted most likely to be famous. Whose mother said, your name's going to be in lights. And I completely deflected. And I said, that's so dumb. I don't want that. Despite all of the deflection, despite all of the fear, God had a plan for my life that was bigger than what I could have even imagined. Are you letting faith rule your life, or are you letting fear rule your life? Are you saying yes to every opportunity that can change your life? Like you're living on the edge, like one day you're going to be gone off this planet? Or are you doing things that are keeping you safe? Are you saying yes to every opportunity where you're like, you know what? That sounds like a God-given opportunity. Let's go. I'm in. You know what? That sounds crazy. Are you living to tell a story that's like, that was epic? Are you living to tell a story where you're like, that kind of sucked? When you choose to decide to say yes to yourself, like how last year I was like, I'm going to put on Freedom Queen Live. That wasn't me. Sometimes I genuinely feel like I'm just like a puppet and God's like, and then you're going to do this. And then you're going to do this. But you know why that happens in my life? Is because other women have spoke power over me. Other women looked at me and said, Bridget James Ling, you are going to change the world. And I want to say this to you. You are going to change the world. I want you to take this on as if I'm having a one-to-one conversation with you, as if if it's just you and me right now. You are going to be famous. Your name is going to be in lights. You're going to have tabloids written about you. You're going to have magazines, Reddit threads. I pray you get a nasty article written about you. You're going to have your name in Times Square. You're going to have the best-selling book, but you have to move by way of faith and not by way of fear. Fear will tell you that there's competition. Fear will tell you that there's some strategy. Fear will have you looking outside of yourself. Fear will have you living in a hierarchy that you're never good enough. Fear will have you comparing yourself to other women when they're making an amount of money and you're not making enough money. Fear will have you thinking that you're never good enough. Famous people, when we make the right women famous, when we make women who are led by faith, the world changes. And so today, I got the news that we're locked in for New York City Times Square. And I am opening up $100 tickets for you to attend the premiere of Freedom Queen in New York City. The first ever. Like, this will never happen again this way. There will never be a first ever Freedom Queen in Times Square. Because this is not just about me. I am bringing you with me. I want you to experience it with me, shoulder to shoulder. I want you to stand in Times Square with me. And all of these women are standing in Times Square going, I made it. You made it. And when a woman says to herself that she's made it, you have nothing else to prove to people. When you feel a woman's essence that she's already made it, she doesn't have to go any further. She doesn't have to go. There's no going to the top. She's already at the top. When you decide that you've already made it and you feel it in your body, the world will move for you. That's actually when you will become famous. And so today, I'm opening up something insane, which is for $100. Now, if you want to come to the New York City event, put NYC in the comment section right now. But just go into the comment section and put NYC. For $100, you get to come to New York City. It's on May 2nd. Come to New York City. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. This is not just Bridget James Ling. This has never been just that. This is Freedom Queen. This is power. This is other women. Put New York City in the chat because that will cue my team to send you the link. This is Mama, I've made it. This is you standing in New York City, Times Square, and saying, I've made it. And at the New York City event, we're not putting a cap on the number of people. There's going to be women making big money. Not these things in Times Square that are like exploiting women. Not these things in Times Square that are like only men in Times Square. Women in New York City. Women who are millionaires, who are multimillionaires. When I moved to New York City, I had $500 in my bank account. I have a multi-million-dollar net worth to this day. I don't sleep on an air mattress anymore. And so Team Freedom Queen's putting you the link to attend this event in New York City. For $100, you get to come to New York, be a part of the What Dreams Are Made Of, have the Mama I Made It moment. where you are going to document this experience of you standing in Times Square. I'll be there, obviously. We're gonna have videographers and photographers, and you are going to, in your body, feel famous. The body doesn't know the difference between somebody who, your body doesn't know the difference between reality and what you're feeling. So if you're standing, imagine this, you're standing in Times Square and all the lights are going off. It's like, poof, 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 light, famous. Your body's gonna be like, I'm famous. And then you take all of that content that we're gonna make and you share it on social media. And it's not just me sharing it on social media. Our feeds are filled with women in New York City. What dreams are made of. You know, it says New York City, what dreams are made of. Do you want to know what dreams are made of? Do you want to know what dreams are made of? Women. Women believing in women. That's what dreams are made of. This is where I said I'm going to lose it. It's not New York City what dreams are made of. It's what's within you, that when you decide to do yes, when you decide to jump on the subway ride, even though it's terrifying, you're like, is this uptown or this downtown? I don't know, but I'm getting on the train. Let's go. I have nothing in my bank account, but I'm moving to New York City. A woman is speaking power over me and I'm just going to listen and take it on as if it's mine. That's what dreams are made of. That's what dreams are made of. And when you sign up for the New York City event, can you put I made it in the chat so that I know who's signed up for it? Now, when you sign up, you're gonna get access to the New York City Times Square premiere. You're gonna roll up. Now, something that I'm doing in the month of May is I Made It May Challenge. Last year, I did a challenge called Make It May, and this year we're doing I Made It Challenge in May. So when you sign up today for your ticket to come to the New York City event, you're going to get the entire May challenge. The Mama I Made It challenge in May. Where inside of Telegram and on calls every week, I'm gonna be coaching you through how to be a woman who's famous. And this is the perfect time. May is an excellent time to decide that you're famous because it sets the tone. Because once we hit July, things start turning up like crazy. And so May is a perfect time for you to decide. And since it's May 2nd, you're gonna kick it off in New York City in Times Square. You're gonna be a part of the group. So we're gonna have hundreds of people inside of the challenge, but everyone in the challenge in my audience in Times Square is gonna see you there, and you'll be a part of the feature group. So when you get your ticket to the New York City What Dreams Are Made Of event, you get access to the event in New York City, but you also get access to the May challenge that's happening for the entire month of May, which is insanity. On top of that, I was like, how can I make this be an experience for you where you're like, I've made it. Like you feel it in your body. Something I love to do is I'm obsessed with fashion. And actually the more fashionable, the more I've allowed myself to be in fashion and style, the more money I've made, the more beautiful I've become, the happier I have become. Like everything about my life has changed when I allowed myself to really not just think about being the icon, but look the part. Look good, feel good. Because people's perception of you, how they're looking at you, makes a big difference in the amount of money that you're making, right? So a part of your $100 ticket to the Mama I've Made It New York City event, on top of getting the entire month-long challenge, the New York City Times Square experience premiere, the May challenge, you are also going to get an experience with an amazing woman who's a client of mine who also styles me for a lot of things. You're gonna get an experience with her before the event to help you physically prepare for it, to help you style yourself, so that when you show up in New York City, and if I were you coming to this event, I would build out events around it. Like I would have your own meetup in New York with your own clients for lunch or brunch or something like this. Telling you right now, this is what I would do. You're also gonna have support on how to show up, because something that's changed my life is I've done a lot of photo shoots, and I actually just had a private client ask me about this morning. She's like, how do you do all your photo shoots? They're so good. And I said, I take a lot of time preparing. I had an entire team in my last photo shoot designing every piece of the outfit. Tomorrow I have a massive creative shoot in Costa Rica, and every outfit is planned, like perfected to a T. And so when you show up in New York City, I also want you to have this embodiment of you feel like you've made it. This offer, the way that it's packaged like this, with all of these different features where you get the New York City Times Square experience, where you get access to the May challenge, where you get access to the special fashion experience and style before that. So when you're standing in Times Square and all the lights are going off, you feel it in your body. And if you're a part of the Unspoken Conversation, our new signature program, I talked about this. You don't just believe it, because believing is one thing. Like, I believe it. You actually know it in your body that you're famous, that you're meant to be seen in the world, that everyone needs to know your name. That will become your new reality. And so drop New York City, NYC, just NYC in the chat, and the team will send you the link to our checkout page, our WAP checkout page. WAP is one of our actual sponsors for Freedom Queen. And we're actually that weekend going to be with them at their headquarters, learning how they've scaled a company to $1 billion market cap. And some of you are going to be, I'll talk more about that later on, but there's going to be options for you to upgrade to other luxury experiences that weekend since you're already going to be in New York City. Do you want to know what dreams are made of? Dreams are made of when one woman decides that she's already famous. Dreams are made of when one woman decides that she's already made it. Dreams are made of when one woman speaks power over another woman and says, you know what? You're meant to do this. And then that woman, you don't just think about doing it. You don't just say to yourself, oh, that sounds nice. Oh, maybe one day I'll go to New York. Oh, maybe one day I'll have my name in lights. Oh, maybe one day I'll say yes. Even with all of the fear, even with all of the I don't know if this is going to work, the $500 in the bank account, the suitcase with the air mattress, you decide to yourself that you've made it, and you move by way of faith and not by way of fear, you will have made it. Christina says, when is this again? This is May 2nd. So May 2nd, it will be in the afternoon. And so you can either fly into New York City on a Friday night. You can fly in Saturday morning. Some of you might be already on the East Coast or in New Jersey, and you can just take the train in. You'll be a part of the afternoon feature in Times Square. You'll be able to come to that. You'll be able to come to the challenge in the month of May, and you'll get access to actually feeling like the celebrity and being the celebrity. Once you're inside, I really recommend that you also build out your own events around the event. Like, make it big. Like, again, if I was attending this, what I would do is I would also invite my clients to a brunch. Like, this is what I do when I attend other people's events. I also create my own event out of it to grow my own brand. And then you get pictures of you in Times Square, and this is gonna break the internet. Freedom Queen in Times Square. What? Like, we just went like out of this world. And so when you're in for New York City, message me on Instagram. Once you've signed up for the $100 ticket, message me on Instagram saying, I've made it. To have an anchoring moment that on April, what's today? April, I think it's the 3rd, that you've made it. That by you deciding to come to New York City on May 2nd, you've already made it. And you get to ask yourself who you're going to be by the time you get to May 2nd. And then we're in Times Square and we're freaking out. And then we go into the challenge for the entire month of May, and you blow up your business, your visibility. You allow yourself to be seen. You get rid of the nuances of the fear that associated. Some of you watching this live, like, you have so much more potential, but you're not letting yourself be the famous woman. You're not letting yourself be the celebrity because you're worried what other people think. You're trying to fit yourself in a box. You hire that person because you think it's their strategy or they have something. But what it actually is that you have something. And the minute you start owning that is the minute you're going to make big money. and you're gonna have your name in lights. Tickets to this experience are $100. Once you're inside, we also have a $10,000 experience that's happening that weekend. So once you already have, oh, Alexi's coming, amazing. Oh, that's perfect. Once you already have your ticket for the $100 event, which is insane, the challenge, the styling, the experience in Times Square, you're also going to have the option and this exclusive invitation to do the $10,000 experience, but you have to be in the $100 one first. I was listening to Empire State of Mind before this, and it was talking about what dreams are made of. And it was like, concrete jungle, what dreams are made of. And I was like, this is so wrong, because that's not what dreams are made of. Dreams are made of one woman believing in another woman. Dreams are made of you saying yes to yourself. Oh my God, someone's already in. Welcome, my gorgeous queen. You've made it. And message me on Instagram when you bought your ticket. Message me. The bundle for all of the experiences, so the fashion, the May challenge, because we're going to sell the May challenge on its own without the experience, but the bundle with the event ticket, the challenge, and the styling, we're going to put a deadline on it. So there's going to be a limit to that. So make sure that you sign up as soon as possible and you say to me, I've made it. But the point of it is this, is that when I was listening to that song by Jay-Z, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. Obviously there's some weird programming in that song, but whatever. I'm listening to it and I'm like, no, dreams are not made of this concrete jungle. Dreams are made of women believing in other women. And I'm really tired of, and I'm just not addressing it anymore, seeing women talk about, I'm quitting the coaching industry. I'm leaving the coaching industry. I hate the coaching industry. Because when people speak that way, I find it extremely disrespectful. I love the coaching industry. I love mentorship. Because at the core of what it is it's God's work. Literally, Jesus was one of the first coaches, okay? And Jesus' empire is like a bajillion-dollar empire. A massive, massive empire. Loretta will make that an option, but right now we're just focused on New York City. And when I see people talk about the coaching industry, I'm like, you really don't understand the power of this work. You don't understand the power of women waking up other women. You don't understand the power that you have by saying yes to yourself, that you have by moving by way of faith and not by way of fear. And far too often in the coaching industry, there's so much fear. There's so much you're not good enough. There's so much you'll never make it. How about this? This one drives me insane. This is where I go crazy with it. Oh my gosh, Sabrina, welcome to the I Made It premiere. Welcome, 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 welcome. You've made it. I have full body chills right now. Do you see this? Sabrina, Italia, Danielle is already in. These women have decided to be in New York City, in Times Square, in person. We're going to be locking eyes to eyes, paparazzi, you've already made it. And something I've seen in the coaching industry a lot is this negative, demonic narrative that puts other people down to lift them up. And it's what if you know what real power is? You don't need to put other people down to lift you up. You just lift it yourself up. I think a lot about different massive leaders. And it's what if you just chose that you didn't need to be anyone's hero, you didn't need to be anyone's villain, and you just decided to win. You just decided to be famous. You just decided to create a brand so good that your name was put in Times Square with billion-dollar companies that are featured in Times Square. Me, when I was just a little girl, Bridget James Ling, who deflected saying my name would ever be in lights. God has a plan for your life. My body's so activated. I am a living, breathing embodiment evidence that when you take the edgy step, when you say, screw it, give me the $100 ticket, $100, give me the $10,000 upgrade, give me the thing, I'm in it, I'm doing this, that you set this ripple effect, that mysterious things start to happen for you behind the scenes. That because I used to have this this verse on my wall as a little girl when I was growing up. It was something like, God has a plan and I will just take one step at a time. One faith-based step. One step towards the right direction. One step towards freedom. I'm going to buy that ticket. I'm going to get on the train. I'm going to get on the subway and I'm going to be so afraid. And then I'm going to get to my room and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to blow up my air mattress. I'm going to put the lights around it. I'm going to lay there and I said, I made it. And I said, I made it again and again and again and again and again and again. When was the last time you made a move that sounded like, oh, that sounds like a great story? And then it was April 2nd or whatever today is, April 3rd. And I bought a ticket to be in New York City, to decide that I've made it, to decide that I'm a woman who's going to be famous, that you're a woman who's going to be famous. Because like I said at the beginning of this, you will become famous when you've decided that's who you are. When you come in person with me, you calibrate. Something I also see in the online coaching industry that people talk about is they say, don't pay to be in people's energy. That's the devil. That's the devil. Anyone that's telling you don't pay to be in people's energy, I'm like, that's the devil speaking. Because if you actually understand the mechanics of humanity, you understand the brain and how we work, you are who you surround yourself with. So I will gladly pay to be in anyone's energy. And at the Times Square event, when we're in New York City, like the place that's like New York City, where the famous people live, where the icons are, where the celebrities are. You're there with me in person. And by the way, to get your ticket, comment NYC and Morgan will send you the link. You're there. What you're doing is you're going to be in this frequency of fame, of power. And like I said before, the body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. And so by you being there, you're going to set into motion these things, that doors start to open for you and people start to come your way and people start to help you. You create a vision so big that other people are going to want to be a part of your vision. Like people on this live have already bought their ticket to come to the New York City event. Sabrina Walker's in. Sabrina, welcome, queen. Sabrina, I don't even think we know each other that well. And you're like, I'm in. That's power. I'm going on an adventure. And you're going on an adventure. And you're going to live to tell the story of the time you bought your ticket. And you were like, that sounds insane. And there I was on a Facebook Live. And I was like, I'm going to go to New York City and stand in Times Square and have my paparazzi moment and then spend an entire month together in a challenge. Maybe some of you will upgrade to our $10,000 experience. Once you're in the $100, you'll get more information about the 10K one. Kat, New York City. You like, oh my gosh, Kat, you in New York City? Yes. If you're a woman who, and I'm just going to put a yes in the chat if I can be, as I always am, but even more so, like super, just like real with you guys. I'm always real, but if I can just go another level deeper, put a yes in the chat. So the woman that's made to come to the New York City event is a woman who is here to win. A woman that knows when you enter most rooms, you're the top dog. Like, you might be in other rooms and people might in that room like make more money than you or have a better body than you or whatever, but like inside, you know that you're number one. Like when I was in auditions in New York City, I would go into the warm-up room. How many of you have ever done a competitive sport, anything that requires resiliency, like bodybuilding, performance? And also let me know when you're in for the New York event. I used to go to these auditions and I would be inside of the rooms in New York City. I have so many stories around New York City. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be iconic. The whole situation. This is literally God's plan. Like if you're not at this event, I don't know what you're doing. Like this New York event is like literally, this is God's plan. Like this is not a human's plan. This is God's plan. This whole event. I remember going into the audition. Yeah, Lizzie, there is the link to sign up for the event. I remember going to the auditions and I remember seeing all the other women. And a lot of times when you're in audition, it's extremely cutthroat, just like entrepreneurship. It's extremely cutthroat. Like this is not for the faint at heart. Like this is not for weak people. If you're watching this, you're a strong woman. Like you're strong. You've been through some stuff. You're strong. And I remember going into these auditions and feeling like, okay, other people in here want to win. Like this like shark mentality. And this is where I'm going to bring it and go there with you. A lot of people in the online industry don't actually want to win. They just want to talk about winning, which is why very few people are making 200, 300, 400, 500, $1 million months. The people at the top are like, they're this. The reason I'm at the top is because I know I came here to win. When I get into rooms and make moves, I'm like, no, but you don't, like, I'm here to win. And so I would go to these auditions and other women would try and distract other women and be friends with one another and do these things. And I remember so many auditions that I would go to where I would just be in the zone. I decided that I made it. I decided that I was number one. I didn't get distracted by other people. And I would show up and I wasn't always the most talented person in the room. Like I couldn't do backflips and kicks and big pirouettes and fouette turns. But what I could do was show up like I was the one, like I had made it. I gave off this frequency. I had decided that I was famous. And audition after audition, I would get it. Not because I was the best in the room, but because I omitted this frequency. That's who this New York City event is for. You don't have to be in the best room in the room to be famous. You know inside, you have this aura about you that's like, yeah, but you're actually meant to do something absolutely epic. Like at your core, when you do a meditation, your heart, your soul is like, if you go to the core of who you are, it's like, she's a celebrity. This is why when you watch really famous people on an Instagram reel, you're like, that's me. That's you. This is why a piece of your soul, while watching this live, is being massively activated. This event is for the shark. This event is for the powerful woman. This event is for the woman who's like, I'm here to make it. You don't understand. I'm going to make it. You're already making it. You're not here to like hang out and chatter with everybody else. You're not here to talk about building a business. You're not here to talk about changing the world, but you know inside of your soul that you're ready to unlock something. And what I want you to do is I want you to right now, while you're watching this training, this transmission, I want you to just imagine your name in lights at Times Square. I want you to imagine your name in lights in Times Square in New York City. And everyone is yelling your name. Lizzie, Kat, Christine, Sabrina, Evie, Courtney, Hannah. They're yelling your name. You know what it takes to make it? It's to make moves that nobody else is making. It's to decide to do the like, okay, I'm in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sign up. Yes, I'm ready. And I'm going to close with this. Just like my mom said to me when I was a little girl, I have a vision that one day your name is going to be in lights. Let me just tune into you for a second. Just like the 1,000 people voted for me to get most likely to be famous. And I want you to take this on as if I'm saying it to you, because I have the power, I don't know why, I just do, to see women's real potential. I have this freaky power to see women, and I know when I see an icon. I know when I see famous women. And I'm going to say this to you. You are meant to be famous. You are famous. In a timeline, your name is already written in lights. When people go to sleep at night, they're already thinking about buying your $100,000 offer. People want to pay you $500,000. People want to get on your private jet with you. People want to pay to come to your events in person. Your work that you're creating is not some human-made thing. It's a gift from God. You're not on this planet to just have some little coaching business or coaching industry thing. You're here to do something so much bigger and beyond than what any other person has done. In fact, you don't even need to compare yourself to what any other person has done, because you're in a league of your own. Your work is so much more than what you're putting into the box, the carousel posts, the reels. Your work is so much more than a how to do XYZ hook. And there are women that actually need you to break out of this shell, to stop not living an activated life, to be the woman who allows herself to be massively seen, to stand around the world at events and people fly from everywhere to be there with you. And most importantly, this is what I really want for you. You're gonna have all of the things because you're a woman who takes action. You do the scary thing. You say yes to yourself. You get in the room. You find the edge. You leap and you jump and you realize actually it's not that scary. People ask me all the time, how are you making 300K cash months? I do what you're afraid to do. That's how. How did you have your first 100K cash month? I invested $25,000 in a weekend. I do the things you're afraid to do. And so when you do the things that everyone else is afraid to do, everyone else has the fear around, and you say yes, and you don't just keep talking about it, but you actually do it, you will have the reality that they don't have. And all of those things are going to happen for you. The fame, the books, the achievements, the awards, all the recognition, people coming on your podcast, like everyone. Like I have an amazing icon coming on our podcast today in an hour or so. But the other thing that's going to happen, and this is what I want you to really allow to anchor in as you say yes to the New York City event. So you're not just doing this for all of the external things. You're not just doing this to have your name in lights. You're not just doing this to get the best-selling book. You're not just doing this so that everybody knows your name and flies around the world. You're doing this for your life. You're doing this like your life depends on it, because it does. You're doing this so that you can feel alive. You're doing this so that you can feel incredible. So that you can be activated again. But this time, activated in a different way. I know you've been activated in your business and your life before, but I want you to be activated in a way that you've never been activated. I want you to activate yourself today, like as if your life depends on it, because it does. The only times where I've ever felt, and I'm sure you've felt this way, the only times you've ever felt depressed, anxious, worry, you go to fear, is when you stop doing things that are pioneering, that are activating, that are taking your business to the next level. You stop pushing the edge and you stop trusting God and you start leaning into fear. An activating woman does edgy things, not so that she can get the result, not just so that she can get her name in lights, but so that she can feel alive, so that she can actually wake up. And this is so important, because when a woman is woken up in her body, hello, you're alive. You're alive. Hello, are you alive? Are you there? Do you see yourself? Like, wake up the body, wake up your soul. And you do that through saying yes to events like this, you will have made it. Because everything will just start coming to you. Because the world, the universe, money, people, opportunities love an activated woman. They love a woman that says yes to themselves. People love hiring people that are going for it, that are allowing themselves to be super free and be seen. And so, Freedom Queen, you are meant to be famous. I cannot wait to see you in New York City at the New York City event. Comment NYC to attend. You can get your ticket to the $100 event ticket. This experience is going to change in terms of price point and also in terms of the challenge and the styling experience. So make sure that you get your ticket as soon as possible. And not for the sake of that it's changing, but for the sake of because you've decided that you've made it. Your name will be in lights when you've decided that your name is going to be in lights, that you've decided that you've already made it. But it starts with you taking an action and saying yes to yourself. It starts with you, with the $500 in your bank account, one suitcase, a ham sandwich, an apple, and a granola bar, and a heart full of dreams, and a woman who's speaking power over you. To close your eyes and just say, let's go. And you jump onto the train and you go up to the next level. So to attend the New York City event on May 2nd in Times Square, to get styled before it, to be a part of the I've Made It May Challenge, comment New York City, Jess, I'll see you there. $100. When you sign up today, message me on Instagram. I would love to have a little moment with you that's like an anchoring, a line in the sand. And I want you to screenshot it. So after you purchase your ticket, screenshot it, send me a message on Instagram and say, I've made it or I'm in. Tell me that you're in for the New York City event on May 2nd. And I want you to just have a moment with me where it's kind of like the moment when I moved to New York City. It's the moment I decided to host Freedom Queen Live. It's the moment I stood on stage and sold $1 million in a weekend. It's the moment I decided to do the thing that I was afraid to do, and I just did it anyways. The moment you sign up for New York City is the moment that everything changes. If you're in Freedom Queen, this is an excellent opportunity to come to an in-person event. When you buy your ticket, you'll have the option to upgrade to some other luxury experiences. It's like a Freedom Queen takes over New York City weekend, which is gonna be so crazy. Obviously, you'll be a part of the premiere where women are standing together and women make it. That's what dreams are made of. Not the skincare companies on the billboards in Times Square, not the Hollywood movies, but women who are making big money. You'll be able to attend this event in New York City. So, Freedom Queen, I cannot wait to see you. Your name is meant to be in lights. And just like my mother spoke over to me and so many mentors that I've had that said, Bridget, you can do so much more than that. I'm gonna say the same thing to you. You're meant to be famous. You already know it. And you came onto this live for a reason. So message me or the team to get your ticket to the New York City event. Your name is destined to be in lights. I love you. Cheers to making it.